Welcome back. I assume you have a clear understanding of what linear equations are all about from the previous video. This video will help you with the understanding about the first form of linear equation called slope intercept form. We briefly talked about that in the previous video. You'll learn more in detail in this video. You guys are probably wondering what slope intercept is. The formula for slope intercept is written as y equals mx plus b. And from this you already might know that m is your slope, b is your y-intercept, and x is your input and y is your output. In the last video, we talked about how you could calculate slope by rise over run. And um, but another way to do it is change in y over change in x. So the triangle is a delta letter, which means change in. You can find a change in x and change in y by subtracting the coordinates. So I'll give you an example. Let's pretend there are two coordinates, 1, comma 1 and 2, comma 2. So in this, this is the x, this is the x, this is the y, and this is the y. So you could do 2 subtract 1 over 2 subtract 1, which will equal 101, which equals to 1. Leave it as a mixed number, whole number, decimal. Don't leave it as an improper fraction. And so this will be your slope. And make sure you align and keep the order of the coordinates the same. What I mean is, don't do 2 subtract 1 over 1 subtract 2. Keep the 2 and 2 aligned and keep the 1 and 1 aligned. And things you can observe from the equation is that m, it indicates a rate of change and common difference of the line. B represents a y-intercept, and y-intercept is a point on the line where x equals 0 or where the line crosses the y-axis. The both equations have two variables. One is y and one is x. Both variables are to a degree of 1. This is because there's no degree stated above it, so it has to be to a degree of 1. X is also an independent variable and y is a dependent variable. What this means is y is dependent on x, so we should write that x is independent and y is dependent on x. And why I'm writing m and b is because it is also dependent on m and b. That is because they are m and b, slope and the y-intercept are on the opposite sides of the equation compared to the y value. The second problem we're going to solve for slope intercept is a line passes through two given points, which are 4, 3 and 5, 7. I'll write this properly. So, what is the slope and the y-intercept of this line? And what is the slope-intercept form of the line? So we have three answers we have to give: the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation of the line. So we could just do this for now, and then we'll plug in the numbers. So step 1, and if you want to pause the video right now, you can. If you want to continue with the explanation, you can see the explanation too. For step 1, you write the slope intercept format equation, which is y equals mx plus b. And then to find m from the two given points, you use the change in y over change in x. So you do y equals, and then y1 subtract y2 over x1 subtract x2, x plus b. Then you plug in the numbers, which is y equals 7 subtract 3 over 5 subtract 4. I'm doing this because 7 is the y value over here, and 3 is the y value, and 5 is the x value, and 4 is the x value. And x plus b, which these two simplify to 4 because 7 subtract 3 is 4 and 5 subtract 4 is 1. So y equals 4x plus b. So after this, this is the equation. So now, step 3 is that you need to find b. So for that, you would put in one of the coordinates you choose from these two. I will choose this one because has the low number value. So since 3 is the y value, I'll put the y value of 3 over here. And then since 4 is the x value, I'll put the x value over here plus b. So we're solving for b right now. And then 3 equals 16 plus b, and then you subtract 16 from both sides, you can see b equals negative 13. So if you put it all together, it equals y equals 4x subtract 13. So this will be your answer over here. Subtract 4, plus 4, subtract 13, and b is over here, negative 13, and m, which you found right here, is gonna be 4. So now we'll be solving one real world problem, and that would be my friend started a delivery business. He rented a vehicle to deliver the items to his surrounding people. After some time, I figured out he has a fixed cost of $100, so you should write that over here because it's a number value that would probably be important, and since it's fixed, we should know that it'll equal b, which is a y-intercept. And the variable cost of 25. And since variable means it's gonna change, we should know that it's the slope, which is m, plus we should write that out because it's probably important when he goes out for delivery towards his food and gas expenses. If x is the number of days, so we should probably note that in our head, and he goes out for delivery, what would be his total cost, which is going to be y. We should also note that in our head. So the equation of the problem is going to be y equals 25x plus 100. And you should probably note that down too, because that's probably going to help you graph the equation that is the question, that how would the graph look like. And the table, we should create a table too to show his sample total cost. So if we put x as 0, pretend he doesn't deliver to any day, he still has to pay a cost of 100 because he rented a vehicle. If he only delivers for 1 day, he has a total cost of 125. For 2 days, 150. For 3 days, 175. For 4 days, 200. And for 5, 225. Let's do 6 values, and let's not do more than that because then our graph's gonna be big. So to draw a graph, first we should plot the x and y axis and then label them on the side, and then we should use a graph paper to draw the graph more straight, and then we should label all the number values over here. Plus this thing is a break because I don't want to continue more down, and this right here, it says total cost because remember I told you y is the total cost, and this is number of days because I told you that x is going to be number of days. And then you just, the data plotted over here, you just plot them over here, and then you create a line. So, and then in this you could see that 0, 1 is your y-intercept because it is crossing the y-axis over here. And in conclusion, thanks for watching the video. In the next video, we would be solving problems from the Springboard Course 3.